This is my book, A Fisherman's Tale, based on a two-part poem of the same name, where I wrote the first part approximately 1998, and maybe 2 years later I wrote part 2. I'm going to narrate this poem as a video because it hears different than it reads, and I want you to hear how it sounded when I recited it on the stage of the coffeehouse many years ago. A Fisherman's Tale, a real love story by Norman K. Wright, illustrated by Bailey B. King Sushite. A Fisherman's Tale. This book is dedicated to my 3 good friends, Mary Lynn, who was my little fish, Sherry, who inspired me to write this poem, and Robert, who knows I'm telling the truth. A Fisherman's Tale. A fisherman sat in his boat upon a blue, silvered lake. Many lines he cast afloat for one mere fish to take. He tended his lines so skillfully, kept reeling in the slack. He had baited his hooks so carefully, yet the fish would not bite back. He thought, if he could have one wish that would get it to, stop and think, if only he could talk with the fish. So he stuck his head in the drink. He spoke his mind and watched each word, for he wanted the little fish caught. But the fish swam away, his voice went unheard. He felt his time spent was for naught. Had this fish known just why he came? Was his patience being tested and taunted? To the fish was this just a fun little game? Had it known what this fisherman wanted? Enough, another lake to find. Then stark amazement clutched in his throat, for no sooner had he reeled in last line when the fish jumped right in his boat. Not a movement or breath. At each other they looked. Why then it spoke up and let its voice chime. For you see, I know me, and I cannot be hooked, even though I've been yours all this time. The fisherman, stunned, his eyes open wide, his mouth could not utter a sound. He wanted to speak, but no matter how hard he tried, there were just no more words to be found. As he paddled away, watching crimson sun fall, his spirit was filling with laughter, for he knew in the end he had done nothing at all to catch the little fish he was after. Part 1. Part 2. As our fisherman paddled away into the crimson sunfall, he was looking. He had the sheer sudden sense of dismay. Well, who here was who? And who done the hooking? With one goal in mind, he had gone to that lake. In his heart rested only one wish, to cast in his lines for one mere fish to take. Now in the bow of his boat lay that fish. True love was his only obsession. Without words, this he wanted to show. So to it he spoke his silent confession. Then, forever and gently, he let the fish go. As the fish swam away, he knew he had been caught, perhaps even true from the start. But here at the end, he knew the fish had done naught to set the hook so deep in his heart. Sitting still in his boat, toward twilight he looked, watching all the sky colors turn pale, and with a sad knowing smile, it was himself he had hooked, as this was now truly a fisherman's tale. The end. Can a fish hook a fisherman? Find out who hooks who in this colorful and unusual poetic tale of love and obsession. Thank you, everyone.